Hi there and welcome. I'm Cindy and I blog over at DIY Beautify, where I am passionate about creating beauty in the home and helping you to do it yourself. See how easy it is. Some of these projects really are simple. And happy October 1st. I thought it would be great to share just a really quick and easy, like 30 minutes or less project that you could do this fall to add some beauty in your home for the season. And here's what I want to show you is a copper pumpkin. I'm going to come a little closer so that you can see the detail. I have whitewashed this little pumpkin and I'm going to show you how I did that. Of course, if you want to leave your pumpkin without the whitewash effect, that is fine too. It's beautiful. Do you see all the reflection on that pumpkin? Okay, I think I'm out of focus. Here we go. So, pumpkins. I chose not to purchase like Walmart pumpkins or Dollar Tree pumpkins, even though they would have been much cheaper. I bought 3 of these creamy yellow pumpkins from Kroger. And the reason I chose to do that is kind of twofold. One, I have not ventured into my attic this fall yet to get any of my decor down. I'm really focusing on doing simple, easy projects that I'm not having to keep, right? So you paint the pumpkin, you enjoy it for a few weeks, and then you can just toss it. The other reason that I chose to use real pumpkins is because I love the stems. Nothing man-made can replicate how cool and unusual a live stem is. So that's why I chose to do that. You can see that each of these pumpkins has like a slightly different shape on the stem, and I just love that. I think they're so unique. So the first thing, let me just share the supplies you're going to need for this. Like I said, super quick project. You're going to need some copper paint. This is the one I used from Deco Art. This is 8 ounces, and you certainly are not going to need anything near that amount. In fact, this little one is probably a lot cheaper at the craft store, and that will be plenty. I used just a cheap foam brush, and yes, in between paintings, I like to keep it in my little paintbrush cover that just keeps it moist. You're also going to need a small paintbrush for doing the dry brush effect and a little bit of white paint. It really doesn't matter if it's acrylic paint, chalk paint, house paint, you're just going to need a dab. So I'm going to paint this pumpkin and show you what it looks like, and then I'll dry brush on this pumpkin because this one's already dry. I'm working here in a corner of my house where the sun wasn't shining. It's a sunny day today and it's like blazing hot outside, you guys. It does not feel like fall here in South Texas at all. So just have something on your work surface so to protect your table. I've just got some cardboard, and literally we're gonna get some paint on the brush and just start painting. Now you will notice when you use this copper paint, and I don't know if all brands are the same, it's really, really streaky, that first coat. So we're gonna need to do, if you're gonna dry brush the white paint over top, I would recommend 2 coats of copper as a base. If you want to use the copper pumpkin without the whitewash effect, then I'd probably do 3 coats just to cover any little imperfections and to give it the best reflective coat, because the coats build on each other as you paint them on. These foam brushes are really easy to use. Sorry, I didn't realize you couldn't see what I was doing. It's hard to paint and look at my phone at the same time. All right, so literally just, it takes, what was that, like 30 seconds. You don't need to paint the entire bottom. I just kind of do, see if I can show you what I've done. Most of it, but leave a little spot, that's fine. Okay, so this pumpkin, I'm gonna let it sit and dry for just a couple minutes, and then I can add a second coat. You don't need to wait until your paint is completely dry before you go in with the second coat. It will be slightly tacky, but that doesn't really matter. All right. So now grab your white paint. And I also, you can't see what I'm doing here, I've got just a piece like a napkin. And so when I get a little bit of paint on the end of my paintbrush, this is what dry brushing is. You get a slight amount of paint, you wipe it off, and then you go on and paint, because you don't want to have like blobs of paint. So I've got just a touch of paint on there. I'm gonna dab it on my napkin. Now we're gonna go, this is the pumpkin, remember that I've painted 2 coats. I'm gonna start at the bottom and kind of on the segments. You don't want it to be even, you want it to look like a little bit like the light has filtered down and just kind of hit it. So let me finish this. All right, so just remember to dab your paint in, dab your brush in the paint, and then wipe it off. You can tap it or wipe it, just so that you're not going to get a big blob of paint. All right, this is pretty much done. Now, if there's a section, and I've got a few of them here, where I feel like I went in a little too heavy with the white paint, see right up at the top there, I don't think that looks all that natural. Grab your brush that still has copper paint on it. See if I can show you. And just go over that white a little bit to soften it. So you're kind of just layering paint. You can do it down here too. All right. So what was that? About 10 minutes? Now I only did 1 pumpkin, but here's the one that's finished. And I'm gonna add these to a bowl, a wooden bowl, I think in my dining room for the rest of the fall season and into Thanksgiving. It just makes kind of an elegant touch to fall, the colors of the season, without being, you know, super commercial looking or I don't know, like too busy. I feel like in my decorating so far for the seasons, I tend to go overboard and things get really just cluttery looking. These are just like, they're small. You can do big pumpkins, but I like a trio of 3, and it just adds a really pretty touch to your fall decor. I hope you enjoyed that tutorial. If you have any questions, make sure to leave it in the comments, and I would love it if you followed me both here on YouTube as well as Instagram and my blog, DIYBeautify.com. Have a great day. Hey guys, I'm back. I just watched over the video and I realized that I interchanged whitewashing and dry brushing. And I just wanted to come back in to clarify what each one is. The technique I did on these pumpkins, these copper pumpkins, is actually a dry brush effect. When you use a dry brush, you get a little tiny bit of paint on, and you dab most of it off, so you're essentially brushing with a dry brush. I mean, just the littlest amount of paint. Whitewashing is generally when you either water your paint down or you paint it on and then wipe some of it off with a damp cloth. Now, you could do that too with these pumpkins. If, say, you painted the copper one day and the next day you wanted to go in and do the dry brush, you could paint the white on, and then where it was too heavy, you could use a damp paper towel and wipe some of it off. Or like I did here, just use your paint on your copper brush and touch it up. So sorry if I confused anyone. I just wanted to jump back in and say I realized my error and I don't feel like redoing the whole video, so I just wanted to explain the differences between whitewashing and dry brushing. Thank you.